will be depolarization, excitation, impulse, and the impulse goes into the pathway. This is a simple story about and then the pathway, the impulses will now go into the glomerulus. Okay? First synapse, mitral and tufted cells, axons of the mitral and tufted cells, they will form the stria. The stria will divide into two, medial, lateral. Medial part will go to the very qadim areas, lateral part will go to the qadim areas, and a little strip, middle strip will go to the jadid area, and that is the orbitofrontal cortex, but through the thalamus. Is that alright? Now, smell. Adaptation. Smell receptors, you have done CNS. What type of receptors are smell receptors? Yeah, rapidly adapting receptors. A wonderful word you have used, okay? Rapidly adaptation. You know, sham. Adaptation is so quick, so fast really, that once you smell a substance, about 50% adaptation happens in the first few seconds or the first second sometimes really. And after that, when the substance is coming, it is so quick process that as it enters into your system, you appreciate that, but in first second or the first 2 seconds, 50% response is decreased. Now more smell is coming, but it is not the same really. So the very first second or the first few seconds are very important, where you have the maximum smell, and after that adaptation happens. The question is, where is adaptation happening? That's a question. One question, when you talk about the adaptation, there are two possibilities of adaptation. One adaptation is peripheral adaptation, and one adaptation is the central adaptation. When you are using the word peripheral adaptation, are we all together? You are not with us. So, peripheral adaptation, what should be the structure which is adapting peripherally? Receptors, khalas. It means some adaptation happens at the level of receptors. We have done the property of receptors that they adapt. So these receptors are rapidly adapting receptors. Some adaptation definitely through here. But there is a very interesting mechanism of adaptation in the center, which is happening inside the brain, inside the olfactory bulb, inside the olfactory tract. You know, the brain is sending your markers, different maracas are there, they are sending the efferent fibers or the adapting fibers, and they are coming in the opposite direction. Efferent fibers now from the brain. They are going in the olfactory tract. Now they are going towards the glomeruli. And these fibers, they find the cells which are called the granule cells. What are these cells? So the efferent fibers which are coming from the brain, they go and they will attach or they will synapse with the granule cells. They inform the granule cells, okay, now you do something please. Granule cells are the inhibitory cells. What are they? And they are also synapsing with the mitral cells and the tufted cells. If the efferent fiber is stimulated, it will stimulate the granule cell, inhibitory cell. When the inhibitory cell is active, what will it do? It will cause the inhibition of the mitral and tufted. Mitral and tufted were sending the impulses, so it will block these impulses partially. Will not stop totally, no, but decrease the traffic which is going in the brain. So this is called the central adaptation. Why we have a decrease in the sense of smell, and we don't feel the sense of smell after some time it is decreasing, okay? You come from the home, okay, to the college, and you are in a habit of wearing some perfume or the deodorant all the time. As you are ready with your clothes, you take the spray and you spray it here, 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 okay? And you have a very good feeling at the moment, okay? But in few seconds, and as you're moving towards your car, that smell is really decreased. You don't feel the same really, okay? But now, if you're passing very close to that, or you're meeting your friend like this, or you're meeting, he's saying, oh, you're using a new perfume. He is not adapted to that perfume. You are adapted to that perfume already. He will catch it for the first time, your smell, and as it goes, you are not feeling at that moment, but he will feel it really very easily, or you're passing by, your smell is still coming. You are adapted to that smell. The new person is not adapted to that smell, and he will definitely catch that, isn't it? So there is a rapid adaptation of the sense of smell, and it happens at two levels. One is peripheral, and another is central level. Okay, that is it. That is all about the smell. Only a little part, few words about the taste. It is very simple, nothing in it really. I'll take only few minutes to finish it. Zoc. We all depend on this taste for our pleasures, okay? And I told you already that taste cannot work completely without smell. What is the difference between the taste and the flavor? What is the difference between taste? I'm using two words, taste and flavor. I don't know. How will you differentiate that in Arabic? I know one word, zoq, which is there. What could be the alternate word or a better word which is representing all things about the taste? Is there any other word in Arabic? I'm not aware of it. You may be knowing it. Related to the taste. Okay? But telling you more about the taste. Yes?
Taste is major.
Okay?
And the flavor is
specific.
more specific in the major.
When I eat, I have a specific flavor of that food. So how is taste different from the flavor? This is a question. You are using which one is complex? Taste is complex or the flavor is complex? You are saying, Abdul Rahman, you are saying taste. And one is flavor. We have to decide really which one is complex really. Which one is the basic sensation and which one is a complex sensation. If you are saying flavor is a complex sensation, then how is flavor different from the taste? Okay. If you add smell to the taste also, then you are compounding it. Okay, you are making it complex. What else can you add? You like chai or gawa, okay? I give you gawa. When you come, I give you gawa, which was placed in talaja. I give, this is the best talaja for you, and you start drinking. What was your expectation at that time? It should be. But when you just sip it, do you have the same pleasure? Do you have the same feeling? Will it feel the same? So what else is important? Temperature, okay? Some foods are liked when they are hot. Some foods, I give you ice cream. I just put it on the table and leave it for half an hour. And as you come, I give you the ice cream and you start, okay? So it is only cream left now. There is no ice in it really, okay? So no cold, no temperature. Will it be the same feeling? It is the same substance. It is having the same taste. But will it give you the same flavor of that ice cream? Never. It will never give you the same thing. Right? So temperature is another essential part of the flavor. What else? What else?
The concentration. Vision.
Okay, but from vision you cannot decide. You may have imitation. I give you something which is very close. You like batatas chips, Lays or something like that. You love that really, okay? I make same thing, exactly the same thing made up of the plastic. I paint it in such a way that you don't understand and you put it really. So your vision is not deciding about its flavor or anything really, okay? And you are deceived sometimes. You can't really, anything else. When you put something in your mouth, what else is important? Texture. You like batatas, Lays for example. You put it, crunch, 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 and there's a crunchy feeling really, okay? You chew it. If I dip it in water and I give it to you, now you please have it, okay? Will you have the same feel for that? Will you have the same flavor for that? Okay? In chai or in gawa or in water, and then I give you, no, this is the best thing. You try this one, okay? So would you love that? No. It means the texture or the physical form is also important. Some foods, when you crush it in the mouth, you have, oh, lovely, now I feel that. It's so crisp really, isn't it? Okay? And some you like very soft. If it is not soft and you are having a problem, then you will not have the same flavor, isn't it? So in the flavor. One more thing, what else? Now I'm going for another aspect of the thing. If you are having some har food, okay, with chilies, okay, filfil, spicy, har in the sense filfil. I'm not saying high temperature, I'm talking about it's filfil, okay, this time. So if filfil, you like filfil, the flavor comes from the filfil. I like this green one, akhdar, the complete, when it is in my mouth, then I feel the best taste really. If you're missing that, you will not touch the same flavor really, isn't it? That filfil is also irritating. That irritation in your mouth, that hotness of the filfil, that is adding to the flavor. So now you have got complex components of the flavor. So flavor is different from the taste, isn't it? Alright. We have seen different examples. Tongue, papilli, not smooth. Different types of papilli or raised areas are there. There are 4 types of papilli. The fungiform papilli or the fungiform papilli. The second is foliate, filiform papilli, and the circumvallate papilli. I think you have done it in these. Okay. So I'm not going for the histology definitely. The idea is that, all right. We are interested in the taste buds. These are the specialized bodies which give you the taste sensation. Specialized cells are modules, hair cells are modules, and hair cells, on the basis of the hair cells, the receptors are synapsing with the nerve fibers. Is it like smell or different from smell? Why is it different from smell? Because the hair cell is a receptor and a separate nerve fiber is module, isn't it? Okay. That nerve fiber will go again in different nerves. Now you have got tongue. Anterior part of the tongue, posterior part of the tongue, and a very posterior part of the tongue. There are different nerves which are carrying the sensations. Which nerve is carrying from the anterior part of the tongue? Anterior 2/3. Which nerve? Yeah, it's going in facial. Chorda tympani branch is carrying and giving it to the facial, and the facial is taking it. Alas, good. Okay, what about the posterior 1/3? It's very easy. What about those areas around the epiglottis and deeper part, base of the tongue and all that? It's the vagus nerve. So 3 nerves, but the main nerve obviously is anterior 2/3 of the tongue. Okay, all right. Trigeminal nerve is actually having a connection. It is carried by the trigeminal nerve first, but trigeminal nerve branches connect with the facial nerve, and the fibers are given, the taste fibers are given to the facial nerve. Chorda tympani is not directly innervating the tongue, okay? So the sensations are taken first by the trigeminal nerve branch, the lingual nerve, and the lingual nerve distributes that to the facial nerve via chorda tympani, and then it will go into that, okay? So that's why finally you talk about the facial nerve, you don't talk about the trigeminal nerve. But initially you start with the true, you are right. Okay? Now, taste buds, 10,000 taste buds. Taste buds, in old age, the taste is decreased. Okay? In young age, the taste is better because taste buds are there. They die also, they decrease in number. Alright? There is regeneration of the taste cells also after some time. It happens also. Anyway, the pathway is very simple. This pathway will go through the brain medulla, nucleus of tractus solitarius. From there it will cross, go to the thalamus of the opposite side. From the thalamus, it will go to the cortex. Okay, so very simple pathway. From the tongue, 3 nerves are taking it to the nucleus of tractus solitarius. From there, synapse happens. New fibers will go to the thalamus of the opposite side. You know that, ventral posterolateral. Okay. And ventral posterior medial this time, and then it will go up to the cortex. Which part of the cortex? It is the lower tip of the post-central gyrus. You have the post-central gyrus module here, okay, and you go to the lower part of the post-central gyrus, the lower tip of the post-central gyrus, and you will find the taste. It is the opercular area where the taste is module. Lower tip. We don't have any diagram here. Yes, there is a diagram here. This is the taste area. Finally going here. Alright. Area. So, for the taste, please remember few things. You have 4, now 5 primary tastes. Okay, what are these primary tastes? Can you tell me? Sweet, sour, bitter. 4th one is salty. Definitely. Without it, there is no life really if you don't have salt. Okay? how will your food taste if the salt is missing really? If it's totally out of salt, okay? It totally changes, isn't it? Anyway, these are 4. The 5th one is umami. Umami. U-M-A-M-I. Umami is a new taste which has been discovered like not very long time. 20 years, 2 decades or so we have discovered. It is the taste of typical monosodium glutamate, the Chinese salt, that has a typical taste which is different. Have you ever come across the Chinese salt? Ajinomoto. That salt. We call it monosodium glutamate or Ajinomoto. Chinese salt. White crystals are there, and if you place that crystal, that will give you a different taste. That taste is now considered as a standard taste, monosodium glutamate, and this is the taste called umami, the 5th one. Sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. These are the 5 primary tastes from where you can develop different other tastes. Okay? Anyway, they are distributed all over the tongue. Look in the book, old diagram is given. Where do you have more sweet taste? Where do you have more salty? Where do you have more bitter? But this concept is not a correct concept. Everywhere on the tongue you have all 4 tastes module. In some areas there is a dominance, it's okay. But not really any special about it. Okay? That is it. Any question about? Yes. Definitely.